Alright, so I'm going to be showing this sketch here. It's a Sentinel. We're going to have a very high camera angle. I like to flip the canvas back and forth just to make sure I got everything right. Looking at the medium shadows that I'm adding now. And some highlights. Just really roughly getting them in there. It's really quick. This process is really just getting the general concept of lighting and shadows. And then we go with an overlay for the blue and then the purple. This is going to be a classic illustration. The image on the left is just for fun. So I begin the sketch layer on top of everything once I've kind of established the look and feel. And this sketch layer is probably going to be removed after I do some final line work over it. So I'm pretty happy with how it looks, and I'm getting pretty close to wanting to get the line work started. So you see I drop the opacity here, start cleaning up boundaries and then improving on some of the lighting. Now if you zoom out you could see, so this is getting pretty close to the final style, and here I'm beginning to do the line work on top. These would be the hard shadows, the darkest of the dark lines. I like to kind of bounce between the line work and the actual value shading, and in order to kind of approach it from two sides, instead of refining the values initially completely, but leaving it open enough to get some kind of refinement done with the line work. Here you can see that I was bringing in some more values because it was unrefined at that point. Doing line work on top of that would be pretty a little bit of guesswork. So here you can see I'm starting to clean up the boundaries around the feet, boundaries around the so the silhouette layer is getting improved. And I'm going to bring in some more highlights and shadows. Yeah, this is when I introduced more of the middle shades. Some under reflections. I realized some of the armor needed to be extended. And using the middle tone shadows to build some of that definition before I go with the final line work. There's line work in the torso, but there's missing line work on all the arms and legs. As I play with some of the levels, I can tell that at this point, you know, it could be that it needs a little bit more highlight or more shadows in different situations, so I kind of played with that. And just kind of cleaning up the shape of the center that disc in the middle. Now comes the line work for the machinery that's underneath the armor. It's really just suggestive. It's not, nothing's really a literal mechanism, or this is more or less just a sketch, just to have fun, and it's my first post for this account. I thought I would do something easy, something fun, document it here, and kind of talk about the process a little bit. Here you can see I'm doing the middle tones again, just to really start to bring some definition to the sections that I'll be refining. Those highlights really help to bring out elements that suggest that there's something there, but so as opposed to doing actual line work all the time, sometimes it's better to do that. So you can see right there I added a texture layer, a couple actual texture layers that help to create the effect of distortion or any kind of rust or a layer of film. So we're going to do more medium tones and a little bit more highlights. The legs are pretty undefined as far as how they're shaped. I didn't really care too much about how they looked. I knew I wasn't really going to complete the legs. It's really just for the suggestion that there's legs. The focal point really is on the head and the torso. Now with some deeper shadows, we can see here now we're actually getting to a good place where we can start bringing focus to the center of the Sentinel. I'm actually about to drag the whole thing down a little bit. So this line work actually doesn't really extend all the way to the base of the feet. But yeah, so we're just refining some textures and adding some highlights, some deeper line work, bring some definition to the hands. To the eyes, kind of position them, create a glow effect, and then an overlay on top. I did the same thing for the chest. At this point, yeah, I moved everything down a little bit since the legs weren't really complete anyways. Cleaned up some boundaries around the arms, finished the head off. Everything's still pretty separate as far as layers go, so it was easy to do that. And there it is. I think the main thing that was left was just little bits of detail, scratches and whatnot. Yeah, I did a yellow overlay and then a glow effect on top of that to help pop some of that highlight color. And that runs through various parts of the metal, so I'll be showing that right now. And there we have it. The final work. So this was a nice quick sketch that has good appeal, fully colored. It's pretty much a concept art of the Sentinel. It's my own style of the Sentinel. There's a lot of foreshortening happening here. So there's some leeway as far as how the feet could be interpreted. But for the most part, we get the idea, and yeah. Thanks for watching.